to Winning Retirement Television. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Greg and Kristin Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group. And to our viewers at home, we're going to be talking about some retirement stress and wins for today's episode. You're going to be really enjoying this. We have a great show to get into. Greg, how are you today?
I'm stressed.
Don't be stressed. Be winning your retirement.
Right.
It's wins.
Never stressed.
Kristin, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great too. I thought it might be fun to kind of talk about some little things that make you a tiny bit anxious or uncomfortable. I'll go first. I mean, you know, obviously for me, number one is math. I'm not a math fan, but also, I don't know about you, but when you go to the doctor, and I don't know if you feel this way, but when they say it's only going to pinch a little bit when they're drawing your blood, I immediately go...
You don't like that? I watch them. I'm kind of fascinated watching the blood come up.
No.
Yeah, I am. But
You're amazing.
I miss anxiety, though. You know the Inside Out movie, the Disney movie?
I love that movie.
I am totally anxiety and disgust.
I'm joy. I like joy.
I know you are joy.
Yes.
Maybe that's why we get along so well.
Yes.
We're like the whole character crew,
You
right?
are not anxiety and disgust,
I am.
though. No,
I
you're
am.
not.
Ask Greg.
Oh, my.
Am I anxiety?
You definitely are. Yes.
That character's
For
so
sure.
cute with her teeth. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And I don't really get anxious much. I would say the only thing that really makes me anxious is when I'm trying to figure out technology.
That's true.
But Kristin helps
yes,
with
she
that.
does.
She
I do.
helps me with that.
But sometimes I stress her out with the fact that I can't
He
do
does.
But let me ask you, is it the simple things like, I don't know, when you're taking the clicker, I still call it the clicker, the remote for your TV, and you're trying to get to a certain channel or even to DVR something? Is it something like that?
No, I can do that. And
Okay.
And once I learn something, and I can do it repeatable.
How many times did you have to ask me to attach how to attach a
Okay,
document
that's
to an
different.
email?
But that's because you never showed me. You just did it.
No, I showed
Yeah,
you.
no.
Well, here's a study from Prodigy Education. They found that 64% of Americans suffer from math anxiety. I'm definitely in there. 47% feel that's held them back at work and school, and 37% say it interferes with their ability to make informed financial decisions. So when there's volatility on Wall Street, I am confident that math anxiety hits for many people. Would that be correct?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. In the study, I think it said, I saw this, a certain percentage, it starts in like 6th grade or 7th grade.
Yes.
And what's interesting about this is that I think that it affects future financial decisions because there's this confidence issue that starts so young where they don't think they can do it or they need someone to help them figure out how to do it. And so that kind of leads on to each step, each phase in life. You know, you make all these big decisions in life financially. You have to buy a house. How big is that stack of paperwork if you take out a mortgage on a house?
Gigantic.
It's gigantic.
Yes.
And you're just kind of guessing that you understand it
Right.
completely. And a lot of people find out they don't understand the loan terms. Or, you know, when you're filling out 401k paperwork or looking at different banking things. So those anxieties, I think, build up over time. And it reminds me of Jaden because I've been trying to teach him math facts since 2nd grade. He is just one of those kids, he can grasp really hard concepts, but he can't grasp simple math concepts like facts. And so I've been trying to show him this trick with nines. I'm like, nines are the easiest one. The first digit goes up, the second digit goes down as you go down the multiples for 9. And he just has never been able to visualize that. Well, we were here at the studio.
Okay.
And a colleague who used to be a math teacher was sitting with him for like 5 minutes and showed him this trick on his hands. Did you know this trick?
No, show me.
So 9 times 9. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You put this finger down, 81.
That's crazy.
And then you go, and it works for all of the facts. I didn't even know this trick. So just learning it a different way.
That's so cool.
Made it click for him. And I think with financial side, retirement side, I think it's so, so important that you arm yourself with as much information as you can that you can understand, but then you go get help. There's nothing wrong with getting help and making sure that you're making the informed decision with the knowledge you have, you're empowered with that knowledge, and then you move forward with someone that can coach you through all the decisions you have to make in the retirement years.
Well, you know, one thing that can stress a retiree out is Wall Street math.
Yes.
I'll never forget this couple, Swedish couple, came in And he said, Greg, and I won't say the broker that they were with, but my broker tells me I'm making 7% a year. He said, but when I look at my account, it doesn't feel like I'm making 7% per year. I said, well, that's because Wall Street math isn't like regular math. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, with Wall Street math, whenever there's a negative return, the average return is not the actual return. He said, what? I said, let me repeat that. Whenever there is a negative return, the average return is not the actual return.
Okay.
So, Cynthia, I'm about to give you anxiety because I'm going to have you do some math here with me.
No, the whole show's going to shift now.
So, if we have $100,000 and we make 50% in 1 year, how much do we have?
$150,000.
All right.
Yes.
But the next year, it went back down. You lost 50%. Now, how much do you have?
$75,000.
$75,000. You're right. So, up 50%, down 50%, up to 150, down to 75.
Yep.
Up 50%, down 50%, average zero.
Okay.
But if you started with 100,000
Yep.
and you end up with 75,000,
Yep.
does it feel like an average return of zero?
No. It feels like a loss.
Feels like a negative 25%, right?
Absolutely.
That's Wall Street math.
I don't like it.
No,
Love that.
it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Okay. No, not at all.
And it doesn't make sense to people when they look at their accounts. If I lose 30% in the market when it's down, I now need a 43% gain just to break even.
Wow.
This is why having an efficient portfolio is better than chasing returns.
Yes.
Because your return average doesn't tell the whole story. Because, look, if we go back 25 years, all the way back to the year 2000, Y2K, right? Remember
Yep.
all that?
I do.
Crazy stuff, too.
Right? Like computers weren't supposed to work the next
Exactly.
day. But yeah.
Yeah, that never
Gas
made
was
sense to me.
99
I know, they're all
cents a
going to
gallon.
crash.
I
Yeah.
just remember that for some reason. It was like less than $1 a gallon for gas.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
remember. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yes.
Sorry,
Train got off the
Greg.
tracks.
It did. There were blockbuster videos back then, too, right? But
That's right. And they still had toys and the Lucky Charms. Right?
yes, I mean, everything.
Everything.
But the average return of the S&P 500 since that time is over 13% a year.
Okay.
Now, and I've heard people come in the office and say, well, with people on Wall Street, well, if you average 6 or 8% and you only pull out 4% in retirement, you're never going to have to worry about losing money. And on the surface, that sounds logical. But here's the deal. If you pulled out 4% from the S&P 500 in the last 25 years, you would be down by over 34%.
Wow.
It averaged over 13. You only pulled out 4, but you would be down by 34% in your account.
Oh my gosh.
So that is Wall Street math. That's why we don't go by averages when we set up a plan for families when they're getting ready to retire. We go by principles. The principles there, and so principle number 1, no investment decisions outside the context of your plan.
Okay.
So therefore, the plan determines where you put your money. You will need to manage your risk efficiently. Don't swing for the fences, folks, because those are the ones that strike out the most.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Protect your income, grow the risk. If you apply these principles, you can have a winning retirement.
And that's the goal for all of our
It is.
viewers, to have a winning retirement.
is.
Greg, thank you so much. Kristen, thank you so much. Now it's your opportunity to have a winning retirement yourselves at home. Call in today to 614-336-7660. Again, the number is 614-336-7660. If you're in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, do I have a plan for my retirement? Do I understand Wall Street math? I mean, it can be a little confusing. Take advantage of this opportunity to call in, 614-336-7660. You're calling in for a complimentary planning review. Let Greg and Kristen get to know you one-on-one, your hopes, your goals, and your dreams for retirement. Completely complimentary, no obligation whatsoever, just by calling in today. If you're rushing out the door, you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That takes you right to the landing page of Legacy Retirement Group, and you can claim your spot accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about some stresses and some wins for your retirement. Stay tuned.
Have you visited LegacyRetirementGroup.com lately? Not only can you easily schedule an appointment by clicking on Schedule Now, you can visit the Tools section and request a free copy of Legacy's My Retirement Kit. Simply fill in your email address and a few other details. Then check your email and you'll find a 10-page retirement kit in your inbox that can help you become better organized. Legacy's My Retirement Kit is designed to help you take a personal inventory and assign realistic values to your assets for what lies ahead. It's a key first step towards creating a true financial plan for your future. And you can do it for free at home right now. To be clear, this does not take the place of a retirement plan or estate plan, but it will help you get organized for the future of your retirement. Visit LegacyRetirementGroup.com and click on Tools to request your My Retirement Kit today. That's LegacyRetirementGroup.com.
Welcome back to Winning Retirement TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Greg and Kristin Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group, and we're talking about some retirement wins and some stressing situations, if you will. This next one is a stressing situation. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah. This is a 76-year-old woman from Pennsylvania. She reported that she purchased a lottery ticket and matched all 5 numbers to win a jackpot of $2.5 million. Okay. However, wait for it. Then she went to cash it in, and reality struck. She realized that she had left it in the pocket of the jacket that she had donated to charity. Believe it or not. Unfortunately, the jacket could be anywhere. No one keeps track of the purchases. Needless to say, she's kicking herself, and that's a retirement stressor, if you ask me. Oh my gosh, could you imagine that?
Yeah, I could imagine. I don't know. I'd be watching for the claiming of the lottery tickets, wouldn't you?
Oh.
And I wonder
call
if
them up
anyone
and say,
noticed
hey, that was mine.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone noticed that, though, who purchased the jacket, because it said that they sold the jacket. So do you think that they would pull that out of the pocket and just say, gosh, was this I don't think you'd even think about it.
We want more information, don't we?
We need to know.
Yeah. I did hear about that happening with a credenza that was sold that had some money in it, and the person gave the money back. They tracked down the owner. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, that shouldn't deter you from giving, though, Just
exactly.
Make sure you know where your lottery ticket is.
Yes.
No,
that's
because
true.
it's just giving is so part of, our soul. It's a part of our heart. It's part of our compassion. It's part of everything. So we don't want people to not give because of something like this, but also we want to make sure that we don't want to give anything to Uncle Sam that we don't have to.
Right, because there are some tax strategies that we can talk about right now when it comes to donating and gifting. Let's dive into that. What are some things that people should be aware of?
Well, when it comes to gifting, I just had this question in the office the other day, on a gift tax, because someone wants to help. Actually, they are combining residences. A daughter and the mom are both selling their houses, and the mom is going to give the proceeds from her house to the daughter. She's going to purchase a home and take care of mom in the new home.
Okay.
So the daughter said, well, is there going to be a gift tax since the amount that mom's going to give us in a year is above the allowable annual gift? And I said, well, no. The way a gift tax works today is if you, and I always recommend people check with their CPA when it comes to tax issues, just to double check and make sure that everything is working properly for them with taxes. But the way it works is, we all have roughly a $12.4 million lifetime exemption from gift tax.
Okay.
So pretty much everybody could give away $12.4 million if they were so inclined.
Okay.
And there are plenty of wealthy people who do things like that. But if you give away more than, what is it, $17,500 this year that you can give to each person?
Yes, you can gift it to someone to get a break on your taxes, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Well, you don't really get a break on your taxes. You just don't have to drop your gift tax exemption.
Okay.
So if you gave $100,000, you would just drop your lifetime exemption by the amount above the $17,500.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, I said, well, mom doesn't have anything anywhere close to $12.4 million, so you're not really going to have a gift tax problem here. So it'll just reduce her exemption. But when it comes to giving to Uncle Sam, every time someone passes away and has a large tax deferred account, like an IRA or a 401k, that's like Uncle Sam hitting the lottery. Because now they get to collect tax on all that money
Right.
that's grown over your lifetime.
They've been waiting for it.
They've been waiting.
Yeah.
We talk about the great wealth transition. I think it's like $473 trillion of wealth that's going to transition from the baby boomers to the next generation, the Gen Xers, the Gen Zers, the millennials. They're going to inherit this money. But guess who else is going to inherit it?
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. So if Uncle Sam gets 30%, let's say, of 473 trillion, guess what? That's enough to pay off the national debt.
Wow. Yes,
So
it is.
It really is. When you think about
Smart.
it, what's Uncle Sam's long-term plan
Right.
for all this debt we've accumulated? Your IRA.
We're going to pay it.
My IRA.
All of us.
Her IRA. Your IRA.
Yep.
That's where they're going to get the money. Is how Uncle Sam is going to pay their bills. Haven't we been wondering?
We've been wondering that.
We've been wondering. You say, why haven't tax rates gone up? Tax rates don't even, they may go up, but they don't even have to go up for Uncle Sam to pay off the debt. They just have to wait for the baby boomers to pass away. That's
Talk
it.
about, that's as big of a missed opportunity than the lottery ticket in the jacket. If you don't take advantage of the strategies you can right now, right?
Absolutely.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So each of us as Americans, we have kind of our own little lottery ticket, and that is some of the lowest tax rates in history. So there's a lot of people that are still paying just 12%. Just think about it. A married couple can make over $120,000 a year, and after their standard deduction, be still in the 12% tax bracket. Isn't that amazing?
It is. It really is.
Yes. So why aren't we looking at strategies to convert from tax deferred, I'll pay Uncle Sam later, to tax free? I never have to pay Uncle Sam again.
So that would be kind of like implementing a Roth conversion idea. Would that be a strategy
Absolutely.
that you would recommend, paying the taxes today at the known rate versus the unknown in the future?
For many, many people, yes.
Okay.
Not for everybody.
Okay.
Because, I always want to disclaim on the show that no strategy is a one-size-fits-all. There's some families that haven't quite saved enough to be able to afford to do that.
Okay.
I always promote taking care of yourself first, making sure you've got money for emergencies, making sure you've got enough income for your lifestyle, have enough to take care of things that can come down the road. But if you have excess there, now we want to create that tax efficiency strategy, that conversion strategy,
Right.
to help make retirement as sweet as possible.
Greg, thank you so much. Kristin, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, if you're sitting in the viewing audience today and you're thinking about taxes right now, we invite you to go to testmyretirement.com. Once again, that website is testmyretirement.com. You're going to put a little bit of information in about yourself, and you can get a printout, an email to you actually, that tells you what your tax implications are right now, your burden, and what they could be if you make a few changes. It's worth a few moments of your time to visit testmyretirement.com. If you'd rather call in today for the complimentary analysis, that number to call is 614-336-7660. Once again, 614-336-7660. You've worked your entire life to get to the retirement years. You deserve to have peace of mind in your retirement. You're calling in for the complimentary portfolio review, the complimentary consultation. Let everyone get to know you in the office and what your goals, your dreams, and your wants are. We'll be right back momentarily on Winning Retirement TV. Stay with us. We're talking about retirement wins and things that cause stress. Stay tuned.
Living a life is building a legacy of milestones, your first home, raising your children, becoming grandparents, and memories. From the first steps across the living room floor to the walk down the aisle, at every stage, your family is the most important part of your life, and you want to protect them now and in the future. Which is why the decisions you make today are so important. You've worked hard to provide a better life for your loved ones. Now is the time to make sure that lasts. Build a legacy that will influence generations to come. Plan smart. Retire well with Legacy Retirement Group.
Welcome back to Winning Retirement TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Greg and Kristin Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group, and we're talking all about your retirement on today's show. Well, this is a very interesting study. Let's talk a little bit about this. This is from Talker Research. They found that Americans consider their perfect day. It includes 3 hours of movie or TV, a nap, 1 hour with our pets, 2 hours of eating, 3 hours with family, and 1.5 hours on our phone. That is considered the American's perfect day. So if that's the perfect day, what does the perfect retirement look like?
Well, what would your perfect day be like?
I don't know. I think it would include shopping. I don't have to buy anything. I just like going. You know, do you ever just go to TJ Maxx just for
Just to
fun or
walk
Target
through.
just to walk through? So it would be shopping. It would be spending time with the boys. Maybe Disney would be thrown in there. I don't know. You put me on the spot. I'm not sure what a perfect day would be. What about you?
Any day I'm with you, baby, is a perfect
wow.
day.
Oh,
That's
Should I
true.
have given that answer right away? I don't know.
I didn't
I
expect it.
love that. That literally is so sweet.
I thought you were going to
spend
say.
all this
I thought
time
you were
with
going to say a day without me.
Honestly, we spend a lot of time together. I wasn't thinking you in that. Said in the most loving way possible.
Oh, sure.
Do you find any of those stats surprising that I just read? 3 hours of movies or
Yeah.
TV, a nap, 1 hour with our pets, 2 hours of eating, 3 hours with family, 1.5 hours on your phone.
The
Does that
phone
surprise
thing-
you?
To me, it depends on the day.
Okay.
If it's a beautiful sunny day outside, I might want to go play some golf. You know, we love putzing around on our
Yard.
on our yard and our house and just doing stuff outside and being active. Just being out and about on a beautiful day. If it's a rainy, cold, kind of dreary day, watching a Bond movie or
Yep.
a Mission Impossible movie or some of the types of movies we like, just chilling, maybe even binge watching a little bit. I can do that, but not on a beautiful day.
Right.
So-
That's true. So weather dictates.
Yes, it kind of does. And phone time, I think most of us spend a
Well,
little more phone time.
I was going to say that phone time, I think, is reduction of phone time because I think the average, I don't know, it's like 4 to 6 hours or something like that a day. I think I read
Yeah.
once. So I think they're reducing the phone time because maybe
Yeah.
they're not working on their phone. Like we check emails. I know you're on your phone all the time working.
Constantly.
Greg
It's
doesn't
scary.
work on his phone that much, but you're reducing phone time actually with that, I think.
I think so too.
But that makes me wonder what would be the perfect retirement, for
Yes.
everyone watching. And,
Yes.
with all these trillions of dollars. I think you had like an inversion of your number
Yeah, I
earlier.
did. On the last segment, I think I said 480
something, but it's
trillion.
84 trillion.
84
right?
trillion,
right?
yeah.
It's
But
easy to
with
get
that
confused.
much,
What's 400 trillion amongst friends?
Yeah, but it's just a little
regardless,
difference.
it's
Yeah.
a large amount, right? So with that large of amount of wealth transfer, this is a large amount of money that retirees have to work with for their
Yes.
retirement. Obviously, it's not per person, but we work with families that have done a really excellent job of saving.
Yeah.
And so they have the means to have the perfect retirement day, right?
Right, and regardless, we have some families that have saved $500,000, some that have saved $4 or $5 million. The amount isn't necessarily as important as what we're able to do with what we have, how we're able to plan with it. But the perfect retirement, based on the people that we work with, is being able to fulfill their goals and dreams. Whether that's buying an RV and traveling the country with their grandkids, whether that's cycling in Arizona when they buy that place out there, whether it's taking the grandkids to Disney, whether it's getting that place on the beach for the summer that they do with their kids and grandkids. I mean, all those things But whatever the goals and dreams are, they don't have to be huge. They just have to be yours.
Yes.
That's so important, being able to do that. And then having freedom. And what is freedom? Financial freedom is the ability to do what you want to do. You know, I just met with a family, and they came in, the husband's 59, the wife's 60, and they want to retire at age 62. Greg, is it possible? And when we went through everything and I laid out their plan, I said, here's where you are right now. You're free. And they looked at each other and they said, well, what do you mean, Greg? You could retire today if you wanted to.
Wow.
So just know you're not working because you have to. You're working because you choose to.
Well,
What did that feel like? I'm sorry,
Yeah, no,
Kristen.
go ahead, go
what
ahead.
did that feel like when you said that? What was their reaction?
They had the biggest smiles on their face. They said, you know what, we're probably going to still work to 62, but it's nice to know that we have options.
Yes.
And even those that are retired, we want to set them up to where they can wake up every day with options.
Well, and that's what I was going to mention there. I was going to say that to get to that point, so many times, you know, I think people think, oh, this is such a monumental task of getting all my things in order and gathering up stuff, and I got to go meet with somebody, I got to drive there, I got to set an appointment. It's really not that hard when you take it step by step. I was up in the boys' rooms cleaning, getting ready for spring recently.
Okay.
And I had just been disgusted by the rooms every time I took anything up there. And I said, let's just clean everything out and start over. And all three of them, I didn't help Christian.
I don't think you had quite that tone when you said that, though.
Well, no, I actually, this time I had a good attitude about it, actually. You weren't home.
Okay.
But Christian, I didn't help.
So if I was home, you wouldn't have?
Maybe. He wasn't in, he did his own. But the other ones, as we got it all cleaned up, they all had a feeling, a sigh of relief, having it organized and in place, and they knew where everything was. And I think that's how the perfect retirement starts, is getting all your ducks in a row, organized, getting all your things together so that you're able to move forward and just make small tweaks as you go through those retirement years.
100%. Kristen, thank you so much. Greg, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today on Winning Retirement TV. That is the goal of the show every week, to make sure that you can have a winning retirement. You've worked your entire life to get to the retirement years, and you deserve to have peace of mind. The number to call is 614-336-7660. We'll see you back 1 week from today. Take care.